Hi, what we're going to learn about this week is a shark called the Port Jackson shark. It lives in southern Australian waters. The materials I'm going to use, today I feel like using A3 paper because I want to do a nice big long shark. If you have A4, that's fine. I'm going to use an eraser in case I make a mistake, a pencil, and I'm just going to go over my outlines in permanent marker. For colours, I'm going to use oil pastels. I happen to know Centro sells oil pastels at the moment. I've got a nice big set. The sets they're selling have maybe 12, 15 in a pack. Okay, so I've chosen a range of browns, a deep chocolate brown, a mid brown, a light brown, and almost a skin colour beige. If you want to use colour pencils, watercolour paint, that's okay too. Okay, let's show you where the Port Jackson shark lives. So I'm from just where my mouse is pointing, Adelaide, South Australia. People in Australia quite often find these on the beach, and they're Port Jackson shark eggs. What happens is the female carries it in its mouth, screws it into wedges between rocks, and hopefully it will stay there. It looks just like a piece of kelp, so potential predators are swimming past it, not noticing there's a baby shark pup developing in there. This is what the teeth look like. The teeth can't hurt a human. What they do eat is mollusks, so they munch up shellfish, and their favourite food is echinoderms, which to you is a starfish. Now, these are the colours. I'm going to attach this PowerPoint, and this is the image I'm going to draw from. So, I'm going to do pencil followed by marker. So let's start with the eye. I'm doing it nice and simplified. Okay, now what they have is a really pronounced eye ridge going over their eye. So I'm going to put that in. Then I'm going to put a line around it and keep going round to that really interesting mouth. Okay. And bring it around to the start of the fin. Here comes the fin. And they have 5 gills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now I'm going to go up to the top and put in the first dorsal fin, which has a spike, then the fin, and sloping back, second dorsal fin, and then I'm going to bring around the tail, so it's got a long bit on top, a second little attachment, and then a final part. So I've done it longer than my page. Coming back to the second fin, here it is. And the last thing is there's a final fin here. And there we go. This is Port Jackson shark. I'm ready for colour. Oh no, I'm going to do marker first. I'm just going to bolden my outlines using a Sharpie. Any marker will do. And I'm basically accentuating my lines. We used to keep these in giant saltwater tanks in my old work in South Australia called the Marine Discovery Centre. They're very, very popular with visitors, and we could watch the pup hatching inside a bottle. They'd get bigger and bigger. There's quite a big yolk that was a lot of food for them, and as soon as they see movement on the other side, they actually are aware of it and they stop moving while they're still babies. It's a defense mechanism against predators. All right, I might just erase my lines where they don't match up, just for a little bit of extra neatness. It's looking pretty good. I'm quite pleased with this. They don't grow very big. Normal size would be about 100 centimeters long. Sometimes they get up to about 130 centimeters. They're most active at night, and they can't hurt humans. All right, let's do the colors. Okay, I'm going to start with my darkest tone, and I'm going to put it around his head. So I'm taking care to go to the top of the eye ridge, and I'm leaving a space around the eye. This is my darkest of the chocolate browns. The main fin is also chocolate brown, and it goes into this really interesting saddle shape. Up to just in front of the fin, and then that second fin is also coloured in. The tip of the second dorsal fin is also dark, as is the tip of the second one. The top of the tail is dark, and so is the bottom, leaving a stripe in between. The other thing they have is a line going up from behind their eye and a little round circle. And the last thing is a line along the middle of their body. Okay. Now I'm going to do the lightest colour using my beige. So inside the saddle is two bits curving over. On the other side of it, it's a very light patch along the bottom and a tiny little white patch over the belly. So I'm putting that in on each side, and I'm just going to put another lighter patch along the bottom. The reason most fish have that lighter bottom is it's camouflage. If you're looking from underneath, they're going to look closer to the sky, and if you're looking from above, they're going to blend into the ocean bottom. Okay, now I've got two more colours left. I'm going to use my third brown for the fins. And top, it's beautiful, beautiful chocolate sort of colour scheme. This first dorsal fin is mainly that colour. Okay, I'm going to come along the top. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do any space in between. It's my final mid-tone, just bringing it together. Okay, now if you wanted to, you can actually blend your oil pastels. You can do it with any solvent. You could do it with petrol, you could do it with alcohol, you could do it with methylated spirits. The one you're most likely to find in your house is your mum's nail polish remover. It's acetylene. If you were to get it on a paintbrush, you can actually blend these colors. I'm going to stay safe and I'm just going to use watercolor paint and I'm going to do a blue wash over it. Before I do, I just want to accentuate that eye. And we're going to make it a yellow color. With watercolor, I might just write my name before I paint over it. I'm going to select my biggest paintbrush. Okay, I'm going to take care to keep all my strokes in the same direction. Okay, so I'm going around the body and I want to show you something cool, which is how to create a bleed effect. But first, just want to get all around that shark's body done. It's a little bit messy in that part. That's okay. You don't want to be perfect. So, all my strokes are horizontal. One of my colours is very powdery. I think I used a chalk pastel by accident. Okay, what I want to show you now is called a bleeding effect. So I've got a nice big patch of paper. What I'm going to do is wet it. No paint at all on my brush. Check out what happens now when I put paint onto a very wet area. Can you see how it starts to spread by itself? That's the bleeding technique that I really love using. So I'm going to put a second layer above this, using that to create sort of lines in the ocean. So lots and lots and lots of water on it. And then I'm just drawing lines using paint. It's a really simple and really effective technique. Mine's quite messy here where that strange colour is smudged. I can fix it by rubbing it with a tissue. Okay, now I'm just going to do the same thing, wash over the top. And there we have it, the Port Jackson shark.